come to your comfortable seat. If you can, sit cross-legged. And do you want me to bring that block and the strap tomorrow?
I'm there tomorrow.
You won't be there?
No, we're at theatre.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But then let's look at a date as well. What I'll do, let's just lift up through our chest, relax down through your shoulders, and let's do that again. Let's lift our shoulders up really high and then allow them to drop down. And again, inhale, lift those shoulders up. This time, roll them back and pull them down. Let's do that a few more times. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to ask everybody for their final take on whether they want to do the following Wednesday. I know you've said yes, and then what I'll do is, according to however many people there are, I'll put a price on it because I need to be making a certain amount. And if you know, and if people aren't happy to pay that, then it won't be on, and then we could maybe do next Wednesday for the personal training. So roll your shoulders forwards. Roll your shoulders forwards. Good.
Because the summer sessions are actually online now.
The summer sessions?
Yeah.
Ah, bring your hands out. You mean at the settlement?
Yeah.
And then bring your left hand up into a side bend. And come over. So inhale, back to center. Exhale your hand down. And inhale the other hand up and over. Have you frozen? You seem to have frozen in place. Inhaling back to center. I'm not quite sure if you can see me or if you can hear me. Oh, there you are. You'd frozen in a side bend there. So let's start that again. Coming up and over. Nice. Oh. And then up and over to the other side. So I'll speak to them about the summer as well. I'll ask about the dates for the summer because I'm happy to keep it going. Come back up to center and reach up high with those hands and bring your hands down into the center of your chest. Nice. A little bit more breathing here, Pat. This will help with relaxation. Inhaling, big inhale through your nose, hands up. And then slowly exhaling. So make that movement last as long as your exhale lasts. Good. Bring your face down to meet those hands. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Inhaling and coming up and looking up. This is going to give us nice opening out through the front of the throat. Lovely. Exhaling, coming back down again. Nice. And then reach your arms up, circling, palms together. We're going to do a seated twist now. So from here, take your left hand on the outside of your right thigh. Right hand comes behind you. So you can either put the hand on the floor or you can reach behind you. Now lift up through your chest. And then pull yourself into a twist. So pull, oh yeah, something clicked in my back there. That's a good sign. And then inhale back to center. So both hands up. Here is where we reach up with our chest. So reach up and stack the vertebrae on top of itself. And just have a little wiggle here in your shoulders. That's it. Big inhale, send the right hand on the outside of the left leg. So it doesn't have to go super far, that's it. And then the other hand comes behind you. Good. Lift up through your chest and then pull on those arms to come into a nice seated twist. Good. Inhale back to center, hands up. One more side bend on each side. So split the hands apart, come up and over. Use the exhale to reach. You've done a twist. I'll do the twist with you then. Twisting to one side and then twisting to the other side, coming up. Twisting to the other side. Good. Then inhaling to center. We'll do a side bend this time, Pat. So hand comes down, that's it, and reach up and over. That's it. Nice and soft in that elbow. Lovely. Inhaling to center. Exhaling over to the other side. Oh, nice and gentle with yourself here. Just feel all your way into your shoulders. Lovely. Come on up. I'm just going to take this off and come to all fours next. So start to come up. I'm just enjoying this being able to sit cross-legged business here. It's great. It does. It just feels so nice. Lovely. So cats and cows, just in that lovely tabletop position with the hands aligned under the shoulders, knees under hips. Tuck your chin round through your back. Exhale and inhale. Head up and belly comes down. So feel your way through all of your vertebrae here. So it starts in the neck. The movement goes all the way down to just above the hips. Inhaling, coming up. And the back bend often feels a lot less natural than the cat stretch. Back to the cat stretch, rounding through the back, because we tend to spend a lot of time in this position. And then pulling your head away from your shoulders as you come into that cow. Good. And then walk your knees back a little bit further. So you've got a bit more space between your hands and your knees. And just have a little wiggle in those hips side to side. Oh, and then sink back into puppy pose. So the forehead comes down to the ground. And have your elbows up off the floor, reaching your hands away from you. This is going to give you an opening out through the armpits. So starting to work into that upper back. Then press down into the floor with those hands and inhale and come up. Send those hips forward, squeeze your glutes. Another little back bend here, good. And then exhale and come back. Hips up. Forehead down. Inhaling and coming up again. Looking up, squeezing your glutes, good. Looking good, Pat. And then coming back one more time. And tuck your toes under, come up into a down dog. Push down into your heels and into the heels of the hands. Nice and push one heel and then the other one down. So gently bending and straightening those knees. And come forwards into a high plank, just momentarily, good. And then send those hips back up. That's it. So come forwards into that high plank and stop there. Shoulders over wrists and hips up, hips up, hips up, 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 up. A little more, a little more. That's the plank. Can feel that in the core, right?
Oh, yes.
Good. And then push those hips back up into down dog from there. Beautiful. Let's do that again, but I want you to stop in that plank pose right there. Well done. I knew you'd be able to do it. And then push back. Heels down, hips up. And then inhale and come down to all fours again. Good. Well done. Now, your right hand, Pat, so that's the one that's closest to the screen, is going to come up and reach away from you. That's it. Bring it down. Back hand comes up and reaches away from you. Good. And then come back down again. Front leg comes up and reaches out behind you. Foot at glute height. Keep your hips even. Good. Swap legs. Back leg lifts. Good. Right, let's do the arm and the leg. So front leg lifts, back arm lifts. Bring the hand down and the leg down, and other side. Good. Nice. Then put your hand down, your foot down, and come up into a down dog. So tuck your toes under, exhaling, pushing back. Inhale, come forwards into that plank again. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, come down to your hands and knees again. So back to your all fours. Without skipping a beat, front leg, back arm lifts. Hold it there this time. Looking down at the floor. Good. And then swap hands. Bring the hand in, foot in, and the other leg goes out, and hold it there this time. Nice. Hand comes down, knee comes down, and sink back into child's pose. So sink your hips back, stretch that back out. Forehead down to the ground. Big inhale here, and I want you to take a long exhale and see if you can make yourself a little bit flatter towards the ground. And then as you inhale, come up and turn and face me into that 90-90 position to start to do a little bit of work in our hips. So that bird dog with the opposite leg and the opposite hand is a really good one for the back, for strengthening the back. So here we're just going to move the legs from side to side to start off with, supporting yourself with your hands as you move around. You'll find an optimal place to put those feet. And you might end up moving around a bit on the floor, and that's okay, it's normal. Good. Coming up and over. And then come up and over and have your left foot at the front. Make sure the foot is flexed. So flex that foot. Bring your hand onto your foot. That's it. So pull the toes up towards. That's it. Flexing. This is to protect the knee. Good. And then the other hip comes around and the chest comes over the knee, keeping that foot flexed. Good. This is going to give us a stretch in those glutes. And those are the muscles that we were just using in that bird dog. Come down a little lower if you can. Again, using that exhale to really flatten yourself down on the floor. And let go. Allowing your body to stretch. And let's inhale and come up and swap over to the other side. So checking in with the foot, making sure that foot is flexed again. Pulling the toes up towards the face. Aim your chest towards your knee. And on that exhale, come forwards. And I just support myself here with this block. Keeping that foot flexed. Allowing the back of the body and the glutes to get stretch with the help of gravity. Then inhale and come up. And we're going to stay in this position. Reach the hand around, that front hand, and take a hold of your ankle. That's it. And pull the heel towards the glute. You'll get a stretch in the front of the leg now. You can feel it?
Yeah.
Good. Have you been walking?
Not as much as I should do.
Okay. What have you been doing to make that bit of your leg tight?
I don't really know.
Okay.
I think just my whole body is just a bit
Tense.
stressed.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not
So,
surprised.
this is good.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the other side. So come up and over with those legs. Settle in and then take a hold of that back leg. It might feel really different, this one, because of course your hips, I think you've got one side tighter than the other. Just push the heel towards the glute. Feel that stretch in the front of the leg. The other thing you can do here is you can lift and use that tension in the shoulder. So you can push the foot into the hand and see how that opens the shoulder out. Good. Yeah.
That's why it's much easier.
Yeah, that's interesting. So the other side needs it more. Good. Come back to center. I'm going to get you to sit in that cross-legged position again. Just one more seated pose before we come up. I'm going to get you to bring your hands up and then clasp them as if we were doing a tricep extension. So try and keep your elbows tight and bring your hands behind you and lift up through your chest. It's a nice stretch in the upper back. Have a gentle wiggle from side to side. Adding a little side bend there. Good. Nice. And then bring those hands up. Bring them down to the floor. If you can, come up via a squat. Give it a go. So bring your feet out or come up however works best for you. There we go.
I can't get further than that.
That's all right. That's a really good start. We can work with that. Coming up however works for you. Into that low squat. That's it. And then pushing away from the floor and coming up into a forward fold. And just spending a moment there. Look between your knees. Feel the weight of your body on your feet. And then slowly roll up. So slowly stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. Putting weight on your feet. Aligning the hips over the heels. And then rolling your shoulders up, back and down. And let's roll those shoulders up, back and down one more time. Good. And then, do you have the strap?
No, I've got that.
Have you got something, just like a sock or a... There you go. It's not going to tear, is it?
It's all right. It's yeah, it's fine.
It's a plastic bag. Good. Anything in the right hand. Lovely. And then the right hand goes up and goes behind you. Keep your body upright. Send that left hand up behind you to find your strap, whatever you've decided to use. Inhaling, lifting your chest, and exhaling, just walking that bottom hand up a little bit more and then just pulling. So again, you might have lots of tension in your shoulders. Stretching your shoulders out like this can bring a little bit of relief.
I can actually get my hands touching.
That's amazing. Well done.
Only the fingertips, but...
Is that a new thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And then swap hands with the strap. Bring your hand out and the strap will magically be on the other side. Inhale here and make sure you've got the long bit hanging down. And exhale as you come over. And then send the other hand in behind there. Now this might be a completely different animal. More space or less space? Tell me.
Much less.
Okay.
Much more.
Much more space, yeah. So less. Yeah. I'm the same on this side because my left shoulder is really stiff and the front of the right shoulder as well. So pull those fingers up a little further. Inhale, exhale. Nice. And then bring both hands out and we're going to discard the strap. Nice. Bring your hands onto your hips and just ground yourself here. So just move those hips from side to side. Gentle bit of movement in that lower back and in those hips. And then send your hips back. And then bring your forearms onto your thighs when we're in that sumo squat. How do your knees feel in this, Pat? Are your knees okay?
Sorry?
Are your knees okay in this position?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, good. And just move those hips up and move them down. Just a little bit of gentle movement here. Good. The neck stays in line with the spine. So the head comes up as the hips go down. And the hips go up as the head comes down and we come into a forward fold. Let that head go. Big inhale. Big exhale. On the next inhale, bring your forearms onto your thighs. And then inhale, hips back, head up. Good. From here, I'm going to get you to push away from the floor and coming up, just standing. Nice. Go nice and wide with your legs. We're just going to do a warrior 2. So go as wide as you can with those legs, dealing with your trousers if you need to. Send your right toes along the length of your mat. Left toes in slightly, but hips and shoulders still facing towards me. Then send the right knee over the right ankle. It stops over the right ankle, that's it. And you also want to be pushing that knee towards the middle of your toes. Don't allow that knee to be collapsing forwards. Once the legs are set, we can deal with the upper body. So inhale those arms up and exhale, relax your shoulders down. This is our classic warrior 2. We can extend it so we can reach over those toes and bring the forearm to the thigh and the other hand comes up and over. Long straight line from the fingertips all the way down to the toes. Try not to lean forwards, so look forwards, that's it. Stay low in your legs. Arms are going to come up and over. Now keep that bend in the knees. That's it. You can look up at your fingertips. Then inhale to center. Exhale your hands down to your hips. Push away from the floor. I see you there already. And we're going to swap our feet over. So right toes in, left toes along the length of the mat and heels are in line. Hips and shoulders come forwards towards me. And then inhale as you exhale, left knee over left ankle. Good. And we stop there. Now that lower part of the body does not move until the end. Inhale, bring your hands up. Exhale, relax down. Then inhale, and as you exhale, reach. Once you've reached as far as you can, bring the forearm to the thigh, push away from the thigh, and the other arm comes up and over slowly until we've got a long straight line from these fingertips down to these toes. So we're not collapsing here, we're not leaning, we're pushing away, everything is active. Now keep those legs where they are. We're going to come up and over in the other direction and look up at your fingertips. Oh, well caught. Well done. Inhale back. That's all right. Inhale back to center and come back to standing with those feet facing out. I just saw the end of that. That's your balance, isn't it?
Yes. Well, it wasn't only that. I just looked up and I just suddenly thought, oh, the room was going.
Ah, a bit of a spin. A bit too much. Have you had something to drink this morning? Have you had a drink of water?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, well, that's probably a good idea, right?
Right.
Bring your feet in so that they're nice and close. Big glass of water between this class and the next one. Lift your right foot up. Sorry?
That's what I normally do.
Good. Lift your right foot up so that you just got the toe in contact with the floor, and just move that knee side to side. If you're feeling dizzy, I'm not going to make you balance on one foot, but I'm going to give you a bit of playtime here, balancing. Just the toe. Good. Swap feet. Lift the other one up. And just move side to side. Good. Isn't it a beautiful day, Pat?
It looks gorgeous out.
I've got a dog walk booked in for the day, and then I've got another dog walk tomorrow. So yeah, really happy. Bring your good. Bring your feet together. Bring your knees together and sink down into chair pose. Then reach your hands up and sink down a little lower. Good. Send your arms behind you. Stay low in your legs. Clasp them and pull down. So open out through your shoulders. Good. And then push away from the floor. Step your feet out wide, keeping your hands behind you. We're going to come into a forward fold with those hands behind us. So inhale and lift your chest. Gentle bend in your knees as you exhale, fold, and lift those arms up behind you. Big inhale as you push away from the floor, keeping that bend in your knees. And unclasp those hands, bring them up high. Big inhale here, and exhale, sink down into your goddess pose. Keep those elbows up high, keep your chest open. Inhale and exhale, sink down a little lower. Nice. And then stand up, bring your hands to your hips, come to center. Some standing side bends. So inhale, bring those hands up. Exhale over to one side. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. And then inhale to center. And bring your hands down to heart center. And we're done. So namaste. Thank you.